At Ritual, we know what goes into the holiday season: the potluck planning, the gift giving, the spreadsheets. So this new year, take a moment for yourself with science-backed support that puts you first. So whether you're focusing on supporting foundational health with a clean vegan multivitamin or supporting your gut health with Symbiotic Plus, do it with 30% off your first month at ritual.com/podcast. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Oh, sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
No matter what the technical difficulty is, this man is a professional. He goes all the way.
What you represent to them is freedom.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver of Common Sense show. 8 p.m. on shrmedia.com.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, making sense out of the senseless and fighting with my microphone stand again. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. till 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch a broadcast, perfect. Go to Reaver.one. Click on the live stream. Don't forget to subscribe to the live stream and keep up to date. If you want to support the show, support SHR Media, go to Reaver.one. Click on the Reaver store. Yeah, someone in the chat room's having trouble, so telling them to refresh, and it should switch the feed over to mine. It should. Unless the Fox News news kicked in, then gotta wait till that's done. Sometimes it's working, sometimes it's not. So let's see what I can find out. All right, we're all good. All right. How was everybody's weekend? Mine was a nice, lazy one. Had my daughter's friends stay over Friday night into Saturday. We went up to his new house, chilled out there for a little bit, came home. Played a little World of Warcraft, a little EverQuest, and then yesterday I was a bum, and I just watched TV all day long. And I loved it. Because I knew all the news that I would be covering would be there. So I didn't do the show, prep it, until 10:30 last night. No, it was later than that. I just was in a very bummy mood. Was content sitting around. So, all right. So a judge orders DOJ lawyers to undergo ethics training after misleading the court on executive amnesty. Holy shnikes. If this is actually true, I'm laughing my ass off. A federal judge has ordered Obama's administration lawyers to undergo ethics training after they knowingly and repeatedly misrepresented the implementation dates for executive amnesty in both oral and written offerings to the court. The misconduct in this case was intentional, serious, and material. In fact, it is hard to imagine a more serious, more calculated plan of unethical conduct. U.S. District Judge Andrew S. Haney wrote in a blistering court order sanctioning the Justice Department lawyer who argued on behalf of the Obama administration's executive amnesty program. The misconduct decried doesn't it just piss you off that it seems like the higher you go, the more you can get away with? If we were to do that as citizens, we would be charged with a crime. We would be charged with perjury and have to defend ourselves with perjury charges. It just it pisses me off. At the same time, I'm trying to get everything all set up. Because for the weekend, I've really put everything away. Roll up the green screen. Try to get it out of the way as much as possible. The mic stand, everything. So I'm still trying to get everything all set up. But if we did this as citizens, we would be charged and extra time would be put on if we were found guilty. But lawyers get away with it. Politicians get away with it. And I don't know about anybody else, but I am fucking sick and tired of this elitist class being treated differently than us. To be honest, they are supposed to be held to a higher standard than us.
At Ritual, we know what goes into the holiday season. The potluck planning, the gift giving, the spreadsheets. So this new year, take a moment for yourself with science-backed support that puts you first. So whether you're focusing on supporting foundational health with a clean vegan multivitamin or supporting your gut health with Symbiotic Plus, do it with 30% off your first month at ritual.com/podcast. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Happy New Year from Minky Couture. Cozy up this winter with the ultimate in comfort and style. Our original Minky blankets. Whether you're relaxing at home, enjoying a movie night, or simply staying warm on those chilly nights, Minky Couture has you covered. Literally. Choose from our wide selection of luxurious designs, colors, and sizes. Perfect for everyone in the family. Celebrate the season in warmth and comfort. Visit minkycouture.com or stop by your nearest Minky Couture store today. Minky Couture, blanketing the world in warmth and love.
But I don't see them being held to that higher standard. Despite the DOJ's attorney's representation, the Department of Homeland Security approved some 100,000 applicants for expanded DACA, which is the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, prior to the February 18th, 2015 start date. Data. And some 2,000 additional expanded DACA applicants even after this judge issued a primary hold on implementation on February 16th. Counsel in this case violated virtually every interpretation of candor. The failure of counsel to inform the counsel for the plaintiff states and the county in the court of DHS activity the Justice Department admittedly knew about, was clearly unethical and clearly misled both counsel for the plaintiff states and the court. Hannon ordered that Justice Department attorneys working in the 26 plaintiff states and involved in the immigration case to undergo annual ethics classes, and for Attorney General Loretta Lynch to craft a comprehensive plan to address the ethics concern. The case, the 26-state challenge to executive amnesty, has since made it to the Supreme Court, which is yet to rule on the matter. How much does everybody want to bet? Just as Bird Dog case has pretty much been pushed off until after Obama is out of office, how much do you want to bet that this will be pushed off until Obama is out of office? So he can go out of office saying, see, I did the best I could. But those damn pesky kids, I'm thinking Scooby-Doo here. Those damn pesky Republicans and the people of the United States blocking my evil plan. I can just see him acting like that way and be all tied up with rope and be like, those pesky kids stopped my plan. And that dog, too. Oh, God, I need help. It's... Oh, man, it's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, Janet, sometimes when the shows switch over, if you're already listening, sometimes they'll switch over. Sometimes you have to hit refresh. It's a small little bug with the system. I'm liking Spreaker better than I would do the old... Damn you, meddling kids, yeah. But yeah, I would have got away with my plan if it wasn't for the Constitution. Ripping the mask off. It's actually Valerie Jarrett dressed up as Obama. I like what this judge did, that he actually reprimanded these attorneys, and this is not the first time, and it won't be the last. They don't give a shit that they're being mandated to the class. They're getting paid to go to it, so what the hell do they care? You know, it seems like there is definitely anymore. Not seems, it's there, that there is a double standard about what they have to live up to and what the people have to live up to. And you know what? We're all sick and fucking tired of it. Why do you think Trump's doing so good? There's multiple reasons. But it all goes back to how the government is treating the people. And it's on both sides of the aisle, not just Republican Party. There is a nonviolent civil war going on right now. Right now, we are using the politics the way we're supposed to. People have finally stopped complaining and are doing actions. Right there, this is what we've been supposed to be doing. We're acting. We're trying to make these people understand through the actions that we are in charge, not them. That we are in charge, not the RNC. That we are in charge, not the DNC has it so rigged. And I don't care if that's the system and that's what they've been using for years. It's still rigged. Those super delegates have it set up. And they even admit so that an unwanted challenger cannot win by popular vote. They've said it Debbie Wasserman Schultz has said it. They have it set up so that an unwanted person can't come in and win. Isn't that, and what I love is, this isn't a popularity contest. What the fuck do you think it is? It's whose personality stands out the most. Who do we believe the most? By their personality. By what they have to say. The popular one wins the vote. I'm loving it. This is not a popularity contest. I don't know why my candidate didn't get the nomination. Because it is a popularity contest. And if you go down right to the bottom of it, it is. Why did JFK win? Because he had a great voice.
At Ritual, we know what goes into the holiday season. The potluck planning, the gift giving, the spreadsheets. So this new year, take a moment for yourself with science-backed support that puts you first. So whether you're focusing on supporting foundational health with a clean vegan multivitamin or supporting your gut health with Symbiotic Plus, do it with 30% off your first month at ritual.com/podcast. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
He had a great speaking voice. He had the looks of the time. No, I don't find him attractive, but I know a lot of women find him attractive. His voice, everything, it was all there. He had the charisma. That's why he got elected. It's a popularity contest. Whether I like it or you like it or don't like it, that's how it goes. And it will always go to that. Who can speak the better? Who can speak the best? Who can sling, I don't want to say the bullshit, but who can sound the most convincing? And don't tell me, because I get tired of hearing about Trump. Well, he can't do none of that stuff as president. He's a liar. What the fuck do you think every presidential candidate does? They sit up there and tell you they're going to do everything under the goddamn sun, and they can't deliver 99% of it. So it's not Trump. It has been going on for a long time now, kids. Oh, and for those socialists, explain Venezuela. I'll wait. Hell, I got an hour and 44 minutes and 10 seconds to go. I could wait for an answer. I know I can't get one because you're going to try to point to everything else, even though most of those countries are either in financial trouble nowadays or they are switching over to a republic and they're going conservative and they're getting rid of socialism. Can someone please explain to me also how all these countries that we went to war to fight socialism are now socialist? And it's now failing? It's sick. And what's going on in Venezuela is scary as hell. I mean, you got people dying in the street, literally starving to death. They're killing each other over $5 worth of food. $5, people. What's that, a fucking Happy Meal at McDonald's nowadays? $5. The shelves are empty. They're killing their own pets to eat them. They're that desperate. Think about it. You know, Fido's sitting there throwing ball with it. Next thing you know, you're picking your teeth. Because you have a choice, live or die. And that's what happens with socialism. Venezuela is a perfect example of socialism. It always fails. You might have a good run for a couple years, but when it fails, damn, it fails big time and people die. And the ones that are in office, do you think they're starving? Hell no. It's, oh my God. I cannot believe people see what's going on in Venezuela and go, hey, let's vote in Bernie Sanders. We want some of that starvation in our streets. Are you really that desperate for free college? If you can't afford it, don't go to it. You know what? There's trade school. Not everybody should go. And what's going on now is there's so many people that have gone to college, it's flooded the goddamn market. And the market is what determines how much will be paid. So you're flooding the market with degrees. It makes it worth nothing. And now you got a bunch of jobs that nobody wants to do because they think they have to go to college. And I tell my daughter all the time, if you want to go to college, great, you go to college. If not, there's trade school. There's other things you can do besides going to college. College isn't for everybody. I know too many people with college degrees, and they're not even working in the field that they paid $40,000, $50,000 to go get a degree for. I'll take my degree that I got. Degree of hard knocks. Degree in common sense. I'll take that. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We will be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
To Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
you got a business. That you didn't build that.
A team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying half of the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, trying to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com, click on the chat room button, join the conversation. If you want to watch a broadcast, go to Reaver.one, click on the live stream. Don't forget to subscribe. And last but not least, but if you want to support the show or support SHR Media, go to Reaver.one, click on the Reaver store. Pick yourself up, t-shirt, and so forth. All right, I got a little clip. It was going around Facebook this weekend, but I have to play. It's Hillary and her stance on certain items. Just take a listen. It's a little bit long.
You were against same-sex marriage. Now you're for it. You defended President Obama's immigration policies. Now you say they're too harsh. You supported his trade deal dozens of times. You even called it the gold standard. Now suddenly last week you're against it. Will you say anything to get elected?
Do you think New York State should recognize gay marriage?
No.
No. Okay.
So she was against gay marriage just recently.
I believe that marriage is not just a bond, but a sacred bond between a man and a woman.
I have not supported same-sex marriage. I have supported civil partnerships and contractual relationships.
I support marriage for lesbian and gay couples. I support it personally and as a matter of policy and law.
I take a backseat to no one when you look at my record and standing up and fighting for progressive values.
Last month in Ohio, you said you plead guilty to, quote, being kind of moderate and center. Do you change your political identity based on who you're talking to?
No. I get accused of being kind of moderate and center. I plead guilty.
Just for the record, are you a progressive or are you a moderate?
I'm a progressive. I represented Wall Street as a senator from New York, and I went to Wall Street in December of 2007, before the big crash that we had, and I basically said, cut it out. Quit foreclosing on homes. Quit engaging in these kinds of speculative behaviors.
Now, who's exactly to blame for the housing crisis? I think there's plenty of blame to go around. Home buyers who paid extra fees to avoid documenting their income should have known they were getting in over their heads.
Of course we have to deal with the problem that the banks are still too big to fail. We can never let the American taxpayer and middle-class families ever have to bail out the kind of speculative behavior that we saw. But we also have to worry about some of the other players. AIG, a big insurance company, Lehman Brothers, an investment bank. There's this whole area called shadow banking.
All right, real quick, during the video while this is going on, they're also showing her donors, and everyone she listed, you heard a little ding, was her top donors. Those ones that she was bashing are like her top 5 donors.
That's where the experts tell me the next potential problem could come from.
Which enemy are you most proud of?
Well, in addition to the NRA, the health insurance companies, the drug companies, the health insurance.
At Ritual, we know what goes into the holiday season. The potluck planning, the gift giving, the spreadsheets. So this new year, take a moment for yourself with science-backed support that puts you first. So whether you're focusing on supporting foundational health with a clean vegan multivitamin or supporting your gut health with Symbiotic Plus, do it with 30% off your first month at ritual.com/podcast. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Companies, the drug companies.
Oh, I think that everybody is in favor of free and fair trade, and I think that NAFTA is proving its worth.
I think on balance, NAFTA has been good for New York and America.
Was NAFTA a mistake?
NAFTA was a mistake to the extent that it did not deliver on what we had hoped it would.
When we were flying into Bosnia, we came in a evasive maneuver. There was no greeting ceremony, and we basically were told to run to our cars. Now, that is what happened.
After CBS News video showed what really happened when she landed and greeted officials, Senator Clinton maintained there were risks, but explained to the Philadelphia...
As she's kneeling, shaking hands, hugging, and having a several-minute conversation with, I think she was 9 years old, they say, a girl that's on the tarmac, and she greets and does shaking with hands with everybody. But there's such a threat going on, she allowed this child to be put in harm's way for a photo op. And all those other people, it has been proven that she friggin' lied. She lied. She was never under fire.
Daily News why she was seen on the Bosnian tarmac greeting a young child if it was really so dangerous.
I was also told that the greeting ceremony had been moved away from the tarmac, but that there was this 8-year-old girl, and I said, well, I can't rush by her. I've got to at least greet her. So I greeted her, I took her stuff, and I left. Now that's my memory of it.
Good to see you.
Yeah, her
Once
memory.
Again, her memory doesn't match our videotape. She and her daughter Chelsea lingered on the tarmac to greet U.S. military officials. Took photos. There was the group of 7th graders on the tarmac, too. And then Senator Clinton walked to the armored vehicle where she did eventually dock and enter.
This pile represents the emails that you sent or received about Libya in 2011, from February through December of 2011. This pile represents the emails you sent or received from early 2012 until the day of the attack. There are 795 emails in this pile. We've counted them. There are 67 emails in this pile in 2012. And I'm troubled by what I see here. I can only conclude by your own records that there was a lack of interest in Libya in 2012.
The server contains personal communications from my husband and me.
Hang hang on. You got to listen to this. The server only contains personal emails back and forth about her and her husband.
Only time I got on the internet, I did 2 emails, and I ordered Christmas presents from a reservation. Otherwise, I found people said embarrassing things on emails. I didn't want to be one of them.
I know we can make our education system work for every one of our children.
New York has spent a considerable amount of money and effort devising very good tests.
I will end the unfunded mandate known as No Child Left Behind. I do not believe that our children are little test takers. And I do not believe that our teachers should be nothing but test givers. I know we can make college affordable and get student debt off the backs of young people.
We're either going to be dependent on dirty oil from the Gulf or dependent on dirty oil from Canada.
As president, would you sign a bill allowing the Keystone XL pipeline?
If it's undecided when I become president, I will answer your question.
When Hillary Clinton becomes Secretary of State, Bill Clinton gives 10 speeches for about $2 million for a bank called TD Bank Investment Group, one of the largest shareholders in Keystone XL pipeline. 3 months later, Hillary Clinton greenlights the pipeline.
I never took a position on Keystone.
We came out of the White House not only dead broke, but in debt.
Yeah, I wish I was dead broke as they were. There's still another second half of this that I'll play after the next break. I'll play a little bit later on in the show because I don't want to sit here and just have a whole segment of listening to her lies. We actually probably could do a whole show of her lies. This is also a woman that says, to her recollection, she has never lied. This woman and her husband and her daughter, they all deserve to be in prison. They have broken U.S. laws repeatedly on all different levels and all different types of charges. This is a woman who left Americans to die. This is a woman that turned her back when Americans were screaming for help. She was too busy emailing her daughter that it was a terroristic attack and too busy telling the American people it was caused by a video and it was a impromptu protest. This is a woman who both her and her husband have been paid up to $20 million for a book for their memoirs. And it's kind of funny because they both had to testify repeatedly in front of legal proceedings. And both of them keep telling they don't remember shit, but they got paid $20 million for their memories. And this is what we have running for the Democrat side. Trump has his issues. Trump has issues, yes. I know that. But it scares me when people say they would rather sit home. When they've seen what the hell's going on in the last 4 years, this man is... This man is 100 times better than the alternative. People staying home. And right now, these alternatives that we have within... The Libertarian Party has like 30 different people running. Each state has a different Libertarian running for president. So you tell me what they're doing. I'll see if I can find the site again and try to just give you a small breakdown of everybody that's running for president. It's extravagant. Let me see if I can get through this article real quick. Try to get back on track. So, Target is now suing a man who saved a teen girl from a stabbing in its store. In 2013, everybody agreed that Michael Turner saved the life of a teenage girl who was attacked in a Pennsylvania Target store. Now Target is suing him. When she was 16, Allison Meadows was shopping in an East Liberty, Pennsylvania Target store when Leon Walls rushed into the outlet and stabbed her. With the assistance of surveillance video, Walls was convicted of attempted homicide for his attack on the girl. The only reason the girl did not suffer more injuries is because Michael Turner interceded, and along with several other men, confronted Walls. Turner himself chased Walls out of the store with a baseball bat. Unsurprisingly, Meadows was extremely thankful for Turner's effort. "I thank him," Meadows has said. "I thank him every time I see him." But Meadows launched a lawsuit against Target, saying the store lack of security put all shoppers, not just her, in danger. Target, however, is less grateful of Mr. Turner's heroics, and now the retailer is suing him for endangering the store's customers. According to the company's filing, Target says Turner and several others chased the suspect toward the store's entrance after the attack on the girl. The store insists Turner put other shoppers at risk with his actions. The victim of the stabbing and her family are furious with the retail chain and say Target is just trying to shift the blame away from its own security failures. Suing Michael Turner is just Target's way of trying to blame someone else for what happened under their own roof. The family certainly does not blame Mr. Turner, and they are thankful he was there that day. Target is already getting negative publicity. The chain is the subject of a major boycott effort due to its announcement that will allow men to use women's changing rooms and bathrooms. Despite the uproar over its decision, not to mention the loss, well, it's changed since this article was written. And we'll talk more after the break, which is coming up. Oh, crap. All right. And you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We will be right back. Wake up, Jenna.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
To Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cough for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I am trying to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Click on the chat room button. If you want to watch a broadcast, go to Reaver.one. Click on the live stream. Don't forget to hit subscribe. And if you want to support your show and support SHR Media, go to Reaver.one, click on the Reaver store. I had something I was going to bring up real quick. And damn, I'm getting old. All right, well, we'll go on with the Target theme here we're doing. Because Target sales drop. Not just their stock, their sales have dropped amid the transgender promotion. I guess you call it a promotion. The consumer boycott, they're at a $10 billion stock crash. $10 billion. That's what it be. That's how far their stock has fallen since they announced that they were going to endanger everybody. And again, it has nothing to do with transgenders. But way they are allowing these rules, it's allowing men and perverts to go into these rooms, bathrooms, changing rooms, and commit their perverted acts. That's what's going on. See, if I was a transgender, I would be fucking pissed off right now because they have painted such a target and putting the transgenders in such a bad light. Because the ones that keep trying to bring up about being the perverts and all that is not the conservatives, the ones that have the issue with it. Most of us couldn't give a crap what they wear or who they think they are. It's getting a little nuts how far they're taking it. But it's the left that's endangering everybody. They're the ones that have endangered everybody with these nut jobs on the street. They fought years ago that people shouldn't be committed. They made it harder for people to get committed and harder for them to get help with all their laws and stupidity. And do you think anybody is going to go try to get any ounce of help? Because they're going to fear their rights getting stripped from them. And that's what the left have done. Whether it was on purpose, inadvertently, it does not matter. That's what happened. And that's what was warned would happen. So now you got people who might have issues are not going to get help, just as those that should be and could have been forced to get help. Well, they're running our streets rampantly, shooting us up. And we have the liberals to thank for that. And with the retail giant Target is losing sales and may be on track for another major stock drop in the second quarter amid a growing boycott caused by the company's transgender-friendly policies. And let's not forget, there's still a lot of people that are pissed at Target over their gun situation. I won't go to Target. I won't spend a dime in Target. They are overpriced Walmart. It's basically what they are, is a higher price Walmart. The company's second quarter sales from April to June may drop as much as 2% compared to the prior years, executives told reporters at the Wall Street Journal. That's horrendous, said Jim Cramer, founder of the stock market website, TheStreet.com. The earnings predict comes a month after the left-leaning company announced April 19th that it would allow men claiming to be women to use the women's bathrooms and changing rooms at its store. But didn't the left say that these businesses have no right giving their personal opinions? I mean, they chastise the right and conservatives that didn't want to bake cakes for gay people because of their religious, and they were told they shouldn't do that, and they have no right to force their beliefs in a business. Well, why is it okay that these businesses are okay? Well, the people are speaking with their dollars, and $10 billion have been pulled from Target. One bad thing about doing this show. Yeah, I know, Kel's not here yet. She may have taken a day off. As I was about to say, the damn headset gives me like a hat hair. I just can't believe that Target, and they're still holding course. They are still holding their course. Their stock has fallen 20% from $84 per share down to $67 per share. Has lost that loss has chopped roughly $10 billion from the overall shareholder value of the company. If I was a shareholder, I would be calling for the head of the CEO. I mean, part of it, yes, is our economy. Our economy is taking a turn for the bad. I understand that, and they always do in presidential election year. I have it on some good sources that come January, there is going to be an upturn in our economy because companies are going to start spending money again. I don't know. And this one made me laugh when I saw it because we have Glenn Beck out there bashing conservatives. Out there bashing conservatives, telling us how great Facebook is and how they've turned around and they're going to be a part and help the conservatives. And how we're overreacting. But it seems they haven't, corrected their actions altogether. Facebook has issued Libertarian Canadian commentator Lauren Southern with a 30-day suspension after she criticized the social network for banning the administrator of a right-wing Facebook page. Only a few days after widely publicized meetings with top conservatives with Mark Zuckerberg to address censorship of conservative media on Facebook, it seems the site is up to its old trick of silencing conservatives and right-wingers. The admin of Disdain for Plebs, a pro-Trump alt-right Facebook page, was banned for arguing that Trump was not anti-Muslim but anti-ISIS, and that his proposal ban on Muslim was not due to innate racism but because Homeland Security cannot differentiate from which Muslim is radical wanting to cause harm and which is a harmless refugee. You know what, Jenna? We're going to hold on to this real quick. Yes, it is partly that. Because when Obama announced about all this transgender crap, no one was talking about, I have talked about it, how the FBI director Comey came out and was talking and that what Hillary said that it was a security investigation was or a security inquiry was basically a bullshit answer. He doesn't do inquiries. He doesn't know what a security inquiry is. Everybody's not talking about that. Nobody's talking about how he said they only do investigations and there is over 200 people investigating on her email alone. That's not counting how many people are investigating the Clinton Foundation right now for their financial records. Nobody's talking about that. Everybody's talking about the opposite sex going into the bathroom of the opposite sex or changing room. It is an important issue because it does put people in danger. But it was a verbal hand grenade thrown into a room to cover up what the FBI had to say. And that's what's being covered up. Exactly. And Jenna in the chat room just said, for years, the transgenders have been going into each other's bathrooms. And you probably never, for the most part, really tell. And there was no issue. When it was, everybody was just living life. But when Obama threw this word grenade and started trouble, that's when it became an issue. If you had left it alone, those men dressed as women could have gone in unnoticed. And vice versa, a woman dressed as a man could have gone in, no issue. But let's go back to, got an ear itch. Facebook moderators, however, apparently considered this to be a wrong thought. The post was subsequently removed, as can be seen below, and the account suspended. The admin, who wishes to remain anonymous, said exclusively that being banned for stating unfortunate facts is typical of social media these days. Conservatives understand they are forced to stay quiet on controversial topics that need to be addressed, or else be completely exiled from public eye. Years of hard work and determination can be and has been eradicated from people under the moderation of political correct censorship masquerading as manners. Now, the left can go around saying whatever the fuck they want. They can put it however they want. And nothing's done. And I've seen it. I've seen death threats. And the only thing they do is remove the comment. Oh, it's a little offensive. We'll remove it. If a conservative says that, they get suspended. Because they stood up and just answered from comments that were being made and corrected this false narrative that's being pushed about Trump. They got a 30-day suspension for talking about it. Now, isn't it the left that always says they want to fucking talk about everything? So we go to fucking talk about it, and Facebook suspends everybody. But they were supposed to be, and they're telling all these conservatives in a meeting that nobody can quote Mark Zuckerberg in. Nobody can record. Nobody can do anything in that meeting except basically listen to him flap his gums. And now we have to listen to Glenn Beck talk about how great Facebook is. It's just... And it's getting to the point where Facebook should be labeled. And they should have to fall underneath the political rules for the Democrat Party, because that's all it is a branch of the Democrat Party. They're a platform that influences billions of people, being used to propagandize left-wing viewpoints. Mainstream media and these so-called conservatives are out there saying that Facebook has admitted its wrongdoing and turned back towards political impartiality. This just shows that they're not. It's just another bullshit. Southern took to Twitter to swipe at Glenn Beck, who, according to the Daily Caller, editor-in-chief Tucker Carlson spent much of Wednesday's meeting sucking up to Mark Zuckerberg. In the wake of the meeting, Beck spent much of his time defending Facebook and attacking other conservatives. I'll tell you right now, the man has never been a conservative. He did what he did to make money. And that's what he is, money. He is not a conservative. He does and goes where the money is. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on High Plains Pundit Radio and SHR Media. We will be right back.
Done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense. Or welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense, I should say. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and there will be no park today. Yes, no parks allowed. Making the sense out of the senseless, I am. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch broadcasts, go to Reaver.one. Click on the live stream. If you want to support the show, just as easy. Go to Reaver.one and click on the Reaver store. So, You want to meet the real Redskin bigots? It turns out the real bigots are the folks who declared war on the name Washington Redskins. A new Washington Post poll finds that 9 in 10 Native Americans aren't offended by the football team's name. Never was. This has been going on. The 80s, there was this popped up. And they all said, no, it's not offensive. It was another one of those verbal grenades that the Democrats throw to make you look a different way. This is after countless barrels of ink and endless hours of airtime have gone into denouncing Redskin as a horrid slur. Now, if you look into the actual name, one of the original names, because their skin is not red. They get the red skin name from, Indians do. It was the warriors. They would paint their face with red clay. Well, clay paint. It was done to symbolize the blood of their enemy. It was also put on there to make it look like there was blood all over their face, that they had killed many. It was a psychological warfare. And pilgrims, I guess you would call them of the time, saw it and called them Redskins. It was warriors that did it. And the warriors were called Redskin. It was an honorable name. The left tried to tell you it's a derogatory name. The only ones that were offended by it were a couple of liberals in the Democrat Party and the bandwagon social justice warriors. Those that jumped on the bandwagon may have meant well, but the bandwagon itself is built on something small and mean. The sanctimonious urge to posture on the moral high ground. It's a cost-free way for the comfortable to feel virtuous and for scoundrels to pose as ideologists. Scoundrels like Senator Harry Reid, who insists a single poll does not change the fact Indian tribe leaders, national American organizations have spoken out against racial offensive names. Then tell me, Mr. Harry Reid, how come there's a high school in your district? That their football team is called the Redskins. He does not speak a word against that. Why? Because it's mostly American Indians that play on that team. It is not an offensive name. How they got the name is there was a decent amount of American Indians that were playing for the owner. And he was looking for a new name, and they came up with that name in honor of those American Indians that were playing for the team. And it is not a single poll. There's other polls out there that have showed the exact same thing. It is Harry Reid who has an issue. And for some reason, he has an issue with the Redskins. So they went to try to attack the Redskins. You could make any sports name pretty much into an offensive name. What about Dallas Cowboys? They slaughtered American Indians. I don't hear anybody screaming that they should change their name. Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys, they ran around in a lawless, according to liberals, society, shooting and killing everybody in the street. 49ers, well, They were a self-profiting person, a capitalistic person, who also murdered each other for their gold. Oh, patriots. Well, according to our government nowadays, patriots are not a good thing. So we need to change Patriots' name. Giants, New York Giants, we got to get rid of because that is offensive to small people. And I can go on and on and on. It is a stupid argument that was thrown to start an issue and cover up other stuff. And Harry Reid has a lot of issues to cover up. A lot. But let me tell you, with the Democrats, everybody keeps bitching that there's this big infighting in the Republican Party. There's a little bit, yeah. There's a small minority that are trying to cause issue. Most of them, with the Never Trump movement, have left. Now they're trying to fuck up the Libertarian Party. And I find it funny because I was watching Twitter. I didn't get on it. I didn't go and tweet, but I was watching it. Well, I tweeted a couple things, but I didn't get in these political conversations. And it was kind of funny. Because now I lost my train of thought. Oh, man, that's bad. Oh, the Libertarians are now saying, or excuse me, these Never Trumps. I saw, and it was multiple, that they are in the Libertarian Party, and the Libertarian Party is going to have to move further right for these people. So they just left the RNC because we wouldn't move and kowtow, bow down to them. We didn't give in to the minority and a small group of people. So now they've run and gone to the Libertarian Party, which I find funny because Libertarian Party is a very open group. I don't agree with a lot of things, but and it's hard to tell which Libertarian Party because there's so many different Libertarian parties. But most of them they don't want rules from the governments. They're very pro-choice on everything. And I mean everything they're pro-choice on. They don't want the government telling you to do or can't do or can do anything. They want to be able to do it. Hey, they have the right to think that way. That's their political ideology. That's a debate for another time whether I think they're right or wrong. And no, I'm not saying they're right or wrong, but they are also very pro-abortion, a lot of them are, because they don't want the government telling you what to do. So these people that are running away, crying because they think Trump is pro-choice. Welcome back. They think Trump is pro-choice. They're going to a party, and again, it depends on which one you're in, because that's what I find funny. It's sort of like the Tea Party. How many Tea Parties are there? I mean, even in the States, there's multiple different Tea Parties. It never really locked down. Same with the Libertarian Party. Every state has its own. Some of them are interconnected. Some have a national, but kind of does what it wants. But the one thing that they do agree on is they don't want the government telling them what to do. And within that, it's medical. I've gone on about my ideas on abortions, how I feel, how I think. He's never Trump's. So long. Bye-bye. I'm not going to cry over spilt milk. I just find it the minority is the one crying because they lost this time. And they're showing their true colors. And I don't have a problem with Cruz supporters. It's the ones that are never Trump that I have the issue with. You can back whatever candidate you want. You have the right to. These people are out to burn the whole fucking country down because they got a bug up their ass about Trump. It's supposed to be so conservative, but they keep believing liberal lies. The liberal agenda that's being pushed on Trump to try and discredit him. The only ones that are believing it are these never Trump. I'll stop right there. But that's a small fight compared to what's going on. And I've been saying for years now, there's actually a civil war going on in the Democrat Party. But the thing is, they are smart. They keep their issues in-house, where the Republican Party dumps it out for all to see. I mean, you have a progressive and a socialist movement within the Democrat Party, and then you have the old school Democrats that are in there, and there's a lot of infighting. But they tend to keep it quiet. But it's actually getting so big. And it's not the first time that I've reported on it. This little infighting is bigger than anybody thought it was. Is it going to destroy the Democrat Party? No. Just like the infighting that's going on with the Republican Party. Is it going to destroy it? No, and at one time I was kind of on the fence that it would. But the sky is not falling. And we will go on. But we're going to talk more about this Democrat little family fight that's going on right after the break. And actually, we'll get into the break a little bit early today. But you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We will be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
To Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to watch a broadcast, go to Reaver.1. Click on the live stream. And if you like the live stream, don't forget to subscribe and keep up to date. If you want to support the show or support SHR Media, go to Reaver.1, click on the Reaver store, pick yourself up a t-shirt. And no, I am not ripping off Trump. Some idiot was accusing me of that the other day on Twitter. Oh my God, you're ripping off Trump. How the hell am I ripping off Trump? Real quick, Venezuela is, everybody knows they're in a tailspin like no other. They're really feeling the burn, and maybe they should have got a shot of penicillin to cure it. Because right now, a hamburger. Anybody want to try to take a guess how much that hamburger costs right now in Venezuela? $170. $170 for one fucking hamburger. Because they're feeling the burn, all right. They're feeling the burn real good. You were close. You were off by, what, $159? Someone, Jenna in the chat room put $11, but it's $170 for a hamburger right now. That's how bad it is with socialism there. That's how bad it is. A country so rich in oil, but yet so fucking poor because their government is socialism. I don't care if we do partial, just a little bit. Let me tell you, 1 foot in the door is all they want. Because sooner or later, that 1 foot in the door, yeah, be all the way in the door. But please, get a shot of penicillin. Stop feeling the burn. I'll tell you right now, I don't fear Hillary Clinton getting elected. I don't. Bernie Sanders, I do. That really worries the shit out of me. Oh, man. So, we were talking about the Democrat infighting, and Sunday on CBS's Face the Nation, the Atlantic's Molly Ball said the infighting inside the Democrat Party over Bernie Sanders continues his candidacy when the frontrunner Hillary Clinton has almost mathematically secured the nomination, has gotten a lot worse. When asked about the family fight in the Democrat Party right now, Ball said, I think it's gotten a lot worse. I've been surprised at the level of acrimony. The Clinton campaign believes this is not a significant obstacle once we get to the general election. That part of the reason it's become so acrimonious that the last sort of hardcore that clings to losing candidates is always going to be more ardent and bitter and unable to see reality, perhaps. But it has. We saw with Nevada Convention the really ugly things being hurled at the state chairwoman by the Bernie Sanders supporters. I think that shows you that, going back to the question, do Democrats go home and Republicans go home? It's a different question for Hillary Clinton than that, because so much of Bernie Sanders supporters have come from independents and open primaries. She doesn't have to only bring in supporters, doesn't need to bring home Democrats, but lots of independents and lots of young people who may never voted before, who have been absolutely immune to her charm in this Democrat Party primary. Now, I find it somewhat comical that all this violence broke out at the convention in Nevada recently. Because it seems wherever Bernie Sanders supporters go, violence follows. Everybody blames Trump for being this violent person. But when it's just Trump supporters, everything's fine. Whenever Bernie Sanders supporters show up, violence ensues. Makes you really wonder who is the violent ones. I don't wonder. I know who the violent ones are. I knew who they were then, and I know who they are now. It's been in the stupidity of certain people that keep, he's violent, he's violent. No, he isn't. You've seen the actions of this group. But yet you still think it's Trump. Let's see if I can. I'm going to try to queue up the rest of that Hillary Clinton video. If some of it's replay, my apologies. Here, let's get back to it real quick.
I was also told that the greeting ceremony had been moved away from the tarmac, but that there was this 8-year-old girl, and I said, well, I can't rush by her. I've got to at least greet her.
Yes, we're
so
under sniper fire, but let me stop and put this child in more danger.
Again, her memory doesn't match our videotape. She and her daughter Chelsea lingered on the tarmac to greet U.S. military officials. Took photos. There was the group of 7th graders on the tarmac, too. And then Senator Clinton walked to the armored vehicle where she did eventually duck and enter.
This pile represents the emails
and
that
let me fast forward just a little bit. There we go.
Interest in Libya in 2012.
The server contains personal communications from my husband and me.
Only time I got on the internet, I did 2 emails, and I ordered Christmas presents from a reservation. Otherwise, I found people said embarrassing things on emails. I didn't want to be one of them.
I know we can make our education system work for every one of our children.
New York has spent a considerable amount of money and effort devising very good tests.
I will end the unfunded mandate known as No Child Left Behind. I do not believe that our children are little test takers. And I do not believe that our teachers should be nothing but test givers. I know we can make college affordable and get student debt off the backs of young people.
We're either going to be dependent on dirty oil from the Gulf or dependent on dirty oil from Canada.
As president, would you sign a bill allowing the Keystone XL pipeline?
If it's undecided when I become president, I will answer your question.
When Hillary Clinton becomes Secretary of State, Bill Clinton gives 10 speeches for about $2 million for a bank called TD Bank Investment Group, one of the largest shareholders in Keystone XL pipeline. 3 months later, Hillary Clinton greenlights the pipeline.
I never took a position on Keystone.
We came out of the White House not only dead broke, but in debt. We struggled to, piece together the resources for mortgages for houses. It was not easy.
Back in 1994, you said that momentum for a single-payer system would sweep the country. That sounds Sanders-esque, but you don't feel that way anymore. Why
Well,
not?
the revolution never came, and I waited.
Will you say anything to get elected?
Well, actually, I have been very consistent over the course of my entire life. I have always fought for the same values and principles.
Sick and tired of hearing about your damn emails.
Thank you. Me too.
That was weird. The timing was really off on the iPod. It said there was still like 3 more minutes, but the woman has not been consistent, except she's been consistently inconsistent. She has changed her support more than she changes her depends. The woman is... The only thing she stands for is making money, becoming rich. That's all she cares about. She doesn't give a shit about the Democrat Party. She doesn't give a shit about the Republican Party. She doesn't give a shit about the American people. She is for herself and herself alone. She is willing to do whatever she wants, whenever she wants, as long as it advances her chances of becoming the first female president. Now, everybody's freaking out about it. Oh, my God, we need to have the first female president. There's a lot of countries that have female presidents. And one right off the top of my head, Germany's Chancellor, Angela Merkel. That right there tells me all I need to know. Do I think women would be bad as president? No. Do I joke around saying it would be at war 1 week out of every month? Yes. But it's a joke. It's a joke my wife told me. Pancake people, they flip-flop to suit their needs. Yeah, that's them. I think the best is we had Charlie Crist down here. And he's a senator. Well, I want to be governor. So he becomes governor. Then he wants to become senator again. Well, the party said we already have someone picked for that. And he throws his little hissy fit. He's losing the primary. So he blames the Republican Party, leaves the Republican Party, goes independent, loses the election, becomes Democratic, runs for governor again, loses for governor. So now he's reporting he's going to be running for Senate again. And this guy flip-flops. Oh, my God, does he flip-flop. I want to be a senator. I want to be a governor. I want to be a senator. I want to be a governor. I want to be a senator. I'm a Republican. No, I'm an independent. No, I'm a Democrat. All this within like 2, 3. Well, I'd say within 2 elections. That one is a pancake. And he's it's funny to watch him. And especially he's working for Morgan & Morgan. Yeah, Morgan & Morgan ambulance chasers. All right, so the Islamic State calls for attacks on the West during Ramadan in an audio message. A new message purporting to come from the spokesman of ISIS calls on followers to launch attacks on the United States and Europe during Islamic holy month of Ramadan, which begins in early June. Ramadan, the month of conquest and jihad. Get prepared. Be ready to make it a month of calamity everywhere for the non-believers, especially for the fighters and the supporters of the caliphate in Europe and America, said the message, suggesting attacks on military and civilian targets. The authenticity of the audio clip purporting to be from Abu Muhammad whatever, some Dabi Debo Danani, hell. A lot of consonants and vowels thrown together. And it was distributed on Saturday by Twitter accounts that usually publish Islamic State statements. Could not be verified. The smallest action you do in their homeland is better and more enduring to us than what you would do if you were with us. If one of you hope to reach the Islamic State, we wish you were in your place to punish the Crusaders day and night. The militant group, which seeks to establish a caliphate across the Middle East and beyond, has claimed deadly attacks over the past year on civilians in France, Belgium, and the United States. But the message made no mention of the Egyptian air flight that crashed into the Mediterranean on Thursday in unexplained circumstances amid speculation by Egyptian, French, and American officials that a jihadist attack was the most likely cause. A U.S.-led coalition, which also includes European and Arab countries, launched a campaign of airstrikes against ISIS in Iraq and Syria in 2014 after the militants seized vast swaths of territories in those countries. Their planes do not distinguish between civilians and combat, men or women, the message continued, in apparent reference to the strikes. We have been playing patty cakes with this fucking group for too long, and I've said it for a while now. And I know there's some Republicans that don't like what I have to say on this. Hit the fucker so goddamn hard, we put the fear of Allah in them. Hit them so goddamn hard, so nasty, that nobody dares stand up to the United States. Not even stand up. No one dares to attack us for fear of retribution from the United States. We have been a country of pussies over the last several decades. We need to hit them so goddamn hard, so fast, so nasty. They don't care about our civilians. Why should we care about theirs? The shit of worrying more about civilians than worrying about our safety is for the birds, and I'm tired of it. You have their men and women that are strapping on bombs. Hit them so fucking hard that'll knock them back to the Stone Age. Hate me if you want. Disagree with me if you want. Come up with a better solution. Comes walking through the door and I don't even know what that was. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio. We will be back for our last segment.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid program.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it is the Reaver After Dark, hosted by Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe, and Jersey Crash, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reaverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show.
And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe. And let me check something out. I think something just broke. I just found this coming from the AP. A Baltimore officer was acquitted Monday of assault and other charges in the arrest of Freddie Gray, dealing prosecutors a significant blow in their attempt to hold police accountable for the young black man's death from injuries he suffered in the back of a police van. A judge also found Officer Edward Nero not guilty of reckless endangerment and misconduct in office, saying he acted as a reasonable officer would and only touched Gray after he was in handcuffs. As the verdict was read, Nero dropped his head down and his attorney placed a hand on his back. The courtroom was quiet. When the judge said he was not guilty, Nero stood and hugged his attorney and appeared to wipe away tears. The state's theory has been one of recklessness and negligence, Baltimore Circuit Judge stated. There has been no evidence that the defendant intended for a crime to occur. The assault charge carried a maximum penalty of 10 years. Well, what is that? 1 out of 6? That was kind of shocking. I figured they were going to hang those guys out to dry. But real quick, as we were talking about ISIS, and everybody keeps blaming the United States and the UK for all the fucking problems in the Middle East. We are not the problem. We are not the ones, whether it's the U.S. or the UK, running around beheading people. We are not the one drowning people. We are not the one setting people on fire. We are not the cause of the problem in the Middle East. They have been fighting, the Muslims have been fighting in the Middle East for several thousand years. Thousands of years before the United States was even thought of. It is just an excuse and a lazy man's excuse to blame the United States for everybody else's fucking problems. And I, for one, am tired of hearing the bullshit. And this next thing I find funny. So Michelle Fields will report on the Trump campaign again. Does anybody remember Michelle Fields? She is the reporter that claimed that the campaign manager assaulted her and she pressed charges, which were eventually dropped. Well, she has a new job. She was formerly a reporter for the conservative news site Breitbart. She is now joining the liberal-leaning Huffington Post to cover the 2016 campaign with a focus on Trump and the GOP. The news broke Sunday evening, one day before Field is set to start her new job. After the tumultuous events of the last few months, I am ready to get back to writing and reporting on what is, without question, the most bizarrely fascinating presidential race of my lifetime, and perhaps any lifetime, Fields stated in a statement on Sunday night. Huffington Post Washington General Bureau Chief Ryan Grimm called Fields one of the most widely read chronicles of the conservative movement. Authorities in April declined to prosecute Trump's campaign manager on a criminal charge of simple battery after he was accused of grabbing Fields during a campaign event. Now, you know the world is flipping on its ass because Senator Lindsey Graham is privately urging Republicans to back Donald Trump, even while he's still publicly criticizing the presumptive GOP nominee. Graham, who once described Trump as all-over-the-board crazy, unfit for office, urged GOP donors at a private fundraiser Saturday to unite behind the likely GOP nominee for president. He did say that we need to get behind him, a prominent Florida Republican who attended the event. A Graham spokesman wouldn't confirm the content of the senator's remark, but emphasized that he does not support a third-party run that some Republicans are working to organize. That third party is a pipe dream that leads to nothing good. I just find it funny. This man went after Trump, balls to the wall, went ape shit crazy all over Trump, lost, got his ass handed to him in his own state, and I mean handed to him. Well, Graham in the polls was only getting like 1%, and by the end I think it was like 0.03. Or some crazy low amount like that. And then Trump ended up winning Graham's state. That. And another little tidbit, Clinton cash. Well, top Democrat Sean King is quitting the Democrat Party over corruption revelations. This man I find funny. Here is a person that has been claiming he is a black person for God knows how many years. He's got questions about finances within himself and corruption within his own life. And he's quitting over corruption of the Democrat Party, which has been going on for years. There's nothing new to that. And I just find it funny that this man who has been lying to everybody for years, again, there's several questions about what he did with some money that was supposed to be done for donations, is quitting the Democrat Party over corruption of the Clintons. Now I think I've heard everything. A man that is white that says he's black, who's got corruption allegations against himself, is quitting the Democrat Party because of the Clinton corruption within the party. Tell you what, that one's batshit crazy. That one is nuttier than a fruitcake. Many of you aren't religious, so please forgive me for recalling my roots as a preacher and starting us off with a simple verse of Scripture. He goes on, the love of money is the root of all evil. While my practice and devotion to religion has waxed and waned across the past few years, I still very much believe that verse is true. When you find evil in the world, when you find corruption, when you find starvation and exploitation, when you find poverty and despair, when you find drugs, guns, and substandard housing, when you find evil, if you dig far enough, you will often discover the love of money at the root. Underneath so much of what is wrong in this country is the deep love of money and all that it brings. Sometimes the connection is obvious and undeniable, other times not so much. But like the huge glaciers underneath the still waters, it is there. Right now, the Democrat Party, which I have called home my entire life, is deeply in love with money. Its leaders have supported and advanced all kind of evil, big and small, in devotion to their love affair. For me, I think for millions of Americans, that all changed when we first heard Barack Obama. That's funny. The man that has taken himself to being worth $1 million when he first stepped in office, getting paid $450,000 a year, is now over $10 million. That's funny. So he was sold to vote for Obama because he was biracial, former community organizer with 2 young daughters. Yeah, that is what sold so many. His whole speech is a bunch of bullshit. What I find funny even more is Eric Erickson is speaking out. This dickhead. Not only does Eric Erickson want Romney to restart a search for a third-party candidate to challenge Donald Trump, he also wants Romney to consider being that person. The conservative Bogler wrote for The Resurgent on Friday that he would gladly work for Romney presidency given the choices between Democrat frontrunner Hillary Clinton and the RNC Trump. Erickson, who has said he would never vote for Trump, opposed Romney during the previous presidential run. On Wednesday, reported that Romney has ruled out an independent bid for president, is not trying to get any other Republican to take up the mantle, despite remaining hopeful for someone else to surface. Eric Erickson opposed Romney in 2008 and 2012, but I think the time has come for Mitt Romney. I can't believe I'm even writing this, but seriously, Mitt Romney should run for president again and transcend party for the good of the country. And for him to fail again, because that's what he would do. He would fail flat on his face. The man couldn't fight for the people, but yet he can attack Trump now. He bent over and took it up the ass by Obama. But now he wants to fight for the people? Yeah, I don't think so. With that, that's my show. I want to thank everybody for being here today. It is truly an honor. I try to say every show, I am honored that you listen to me and you're faithfully listening all the time. And with that, have a great day. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.